Competition and production. Production. Production lies within one span of control. It focuses on producing specific results and produces raw resources into usable ones. Competition. Competition works outside our span of control, improves our position in a general way, provides the resources for production, and requires strategy instead of planning. The main difference. The critical differences are these. In competition, we focus on advancing our position, while in production, we focus on shaping objects. Competition, in competition, you explore and experiment. In production, you design and organize. Competition, adaptive thinking. Production, linear thinking. Networked relationships, hierarchical structure. External chaotic environments, internal controlled environments. People competing, people cooperating. Most making decisions, most following procedures. Anonymous, unattained resources, known, available resources. Event-based responses, predetermined steps. Factors details into larger picture, breaks processes into finer details. Unique custom solutions, duplicate standard products. Adjust to the environment as a whole versus controlling part of the environment. A general improvement in position versus a well-specified end result. Competitive positions. A position is based on 5 factors, and these are mission, character, skills, ground, and climate. First, ground. Ground is what we fight on and what we fight for in strategic environment. Notice the word fight. In Sun Tzu's terms, fight actually just means putting our resources to fulfill an opportunity. It contains the rewards that sustain us and prosper us. Each ground has its own rules and restrictions. Climate. The element of chaos and change in the strategic environment is climate. Climate is not predictable but goes in patterns called trends or cycles. Climate changes the nature of the ground with time, as well as the rules of the ground itself. Character. Character is the realm of decision making. It is made of 5 character traits. These intelligence, courage, strictness, trustworthiness, and caring. Each of these matches one of the 5 factors, and each of these has 2 extremes, the lack of and excess of. Methods. These are composed of talent, skills, and or abilities. They connect us to others, and they include habits and ways/systems we use to do things or address problems. Mission. A mission unites you with others. A mission is selfish, even when it revolves around the well-being of others. It is centered around our motivations/desires. You build this resource by establishing a mission that people want to share in. The 4 skills. When we advance our position, we want to have our best shot at success. There are specific principles to each. However, we listen, aim, move, claim to produce or to improve our position. Listening. We listen to identify as many of our opportunities as possible. All information is incomplete, and we trust only in the big picture. We form that bigger picture by piecing our information, and we gather that information by 5 channels of information or contacts. Aiming. Listening opens us up, and aiming narrows that focus. We focus only on the highest probability opportunities, that is, those opportunities that are most likely to be successful, especially the ones that are easiest. In the end, however, probabilities are only just probabilities. They're not exactly actualities. We select those opportunities that we are best suited for, and that minimizes conflict and wasteful effort. We test our opportunities, and we also explore them. The skill of moving. Moving is about pursuing or fulfilling that opportunity, or filling them. Sometimes challenges or situations come to our way. Sun Tzu addresses these 9 situations. In each of them, a specific response is enacted, kind of like a football play. Momentum is key in campaigns and situation reaction. Momentum blasts away friction by surprise and innovation. Momentum is productive rather than destructive. Finally, the skill of claiming. Claiming itself is a skill because, unlike in production, strategic action doesn't automatically produce results. For instance, I can scratch somebody else's back, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to scratch mine. I have to make it easy for them to want to. We evaluate our new position and the rewards it brings. We get noticed for recognition. We want to make it easy for others to want to support us. We slide into our productive skills. And we protect our resources from environmental attack, or Sun Tzu termed fire attacks. And then finally, production takes over. Eventually, seconds or years depending on the move and the context, we'll have to advance or improve ourselves again. But until we do, we use production of our ground to produce specific results. This involves planning and calculation and linear thinking, etc. A position must always be productive in a competitive and productive light, as seen below with this resort. Before, we see just a plain old island. Well, I don't want to say plain old because it's beautiful. But then afterwards, we see another beautiful beach resort. Although it takes planning, calculation, and production, all that stuff, to be able to produce those architectural plans for the houses and the events that go on there, etc. It also needs to be productive competitively, because just because you have a beach resort doesn't mean, people are going to want it. You have to be able to, of course, claim. You have to be able to make it look good, make where people want to use it, people want to live there, etc.